Hello, friends.
Hola.
Hello. So, welcome back to another community live stream. We're talking about version 4. We met last week. We were myself, Bob, and Ian Sturgis, who has managed to hospitalise himself today. So much love to Ian. I believe he's listening on the sofa now, pumped up for the steroids, poor fella. So I hope you're feeling better soon, Ian. It has left us as a slight problem, which was Ian was the only one who knew how to play Kings of War.
It's not how it works.
So, fortunately, I've recruited 2 absolute experts who know the rules back to front incredibly well. We've got John, who last played Kings of War, some time ago. But he did do the entire Clash of Kings live stream, so we think he's probably picked up a thing or two.
Beginning of edition 3.
Yeah. And we have a legend in the game, the Lord of Zombies himself, master of the northeast of England, or just North Sheffield upwards, basically, master representative. Andy, hi Andy, thanks for joining us.
No worries. I thought you wanted people who could play the game. You never mentioned that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just anyone to do. Welcome,
Steve,
John.
We had to have a drink. That was the
yeah, just have a drink. I've got a cup of tea because I have the worst hangover ever from yesterday, but it is in a appropriately branded mug. So
I'm doing something very dangerous because I have to be up at 4 o'clock, so I've got wine. Obviously, that's the thing that you have to have.
That's the low alcohol version, Andy.
This is what?
The way it works.
Low alcohol.
Low alcohol. Yeah.
Right, anyway, let's bring these proceedings to order. So hello for those who are watching. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Bonehead Podcast. He's like a proper YouTuber. Welcome. He's been keeping us all up to date with all the updates so far. Enjoying his podcast. Hi to Daz Lamb. Hi, Mark. Welcome. How you doing, Mr. Mark? Welcome, Mark Zielinski. Hi from Norway, from Sindra Storheim. Hi to Bart over there in the US of A. PJ, Dan Haslam, welcome everybody. So it's good to have you on board. So there are a few things we need to go over. We're gonna run through all the stuff that Mantic has published this week. Have a chat about the implications of that. But full disclosure is that Bob and myself are going to go and play version 4 tomorrow.
You're a pair of tonks.
At Mantic HQ, which means we have got a copy of the rules, and we are, we are unencumbered by an NDA. We have no. They didn't give us an NDA; they just gave us the rules. Now, I think in the interest of, we don't want to be quiet, Jan. But yeah, they didn't. So while we are unencumbered by an NDA, I think it's probably not healthy for us to sit and read through the rules. Because we would like to not be shot when we turn up, but we'll try. And plus, also, they're still in something of a movable state, so there are some elements which are changing. So we can give it some context, but we're not going to be going into great detail. I would say we'll just try and tread that line, Bob, because you and we're very subtle people, right? So we're good at that sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't been in the pub all afternoon.
No.
This could be bad. Is Army a dog? I can still hear myself, Bob. A dog/hound Shogun army? Maybe.
Dog.
So we haven't sent us the rules for the army. So what they do is they've sent us like a basic version of the rules to play tomorrow. There's already been some changes to that, and then they've sent us whichever list we happen to be taking. So I'm taking both Night Stalkers and Twilight King. What are you taking, Bob?
Northern Alliance.
Northern Alliance. So we have seen those lists. We're not going to go into them in great detail. I might be persuaded to talk about it in a bit, but have they told you in the NDA? That's the point, Dan. We haven't got an NDA. We didn't give us an NDA. We have no non-disclosure. All we have is politeness. So and not wanting to annoy Mantic over much. So that's where we're up to. So that'd be fun, isn't it?
It's a case of how much you want to say when you want to say it.
Indeed. Hi to Steve. Hi, Mike Smith. We've got some good people. Nice to see everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run through the blogs first. So we know the wonderful Mantic site, which I will bring up on the screen. There it is. So we have the 4th edition blog, which we can all see here. So they've launched a few things. So last week we went through the first 4 blogs up to number 8 here. Have you noticed the numbers have gone all through this now? So it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it goes 9, 10, 12, 11, 14, 15, 16, 13. It goes really all over the place. But the first blog is advanced games. So let's skip into advanced games, which you'll have to share them individually because they open to new windows. Advanced games, where are we? Here we are. So, advanced games by Matt Gilbert. Yeah, that's another consideration, is how much we want to get cool stuff in advance in future. If we start blabbing about things they're giving us now, then we will be in trouble. So, advanced games. So this is the element. So the rules are split into core rules and advanced rules. They're not optional. They make that really specific. These are not optional rules. They expect all new players to get to grip with them too. They're split off simply so the game is easier to learn for the first time. So the elements covered in the advanced section are timed games, command orders, scenarios and game sizes, and complex cases and clarification. So the basic game is just kill. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I kind of feel like scenarios are a central part of everything that Kings of War is. If you just start playing, I mean, you do tend to play kill in your very first game, I guess. But I should imagine most people would want to get cracking with scenarios as soon as possible, right?
It certainly adds more depth if you're playing scenarios. So, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I wonder whether they'll let us play some scenarios tomorrow or not. I might, because I don't want to go. We're there from 10 till 4 tomorrow. I don't really want to just go and play kill all day. How about you, Bob?
No, it's seeing as I suck at it anyway. Just yeah, I'd sooner do some loot token picking up and things like that.
This is a new edition, Bob. This is an entire new opportunity to get good.
Yeah, get good, Scrub.
Yeah,
And not roll double ones.
Yeah.
Let's think.
So, timed games. What a nice picture. Look at that lovely picture on the blog there. I wonder whose picture that is.
Can't think where that came from.
Lovely. That's actually last year.
Yeah.
It's not even this year, because you can see you've got top table up there on the stage, which didn't have this year. Anyway. So timed games is just going through chess clocks, and basically it's just rules for using chess clocks. I don't think there's nothing really controversial there, right? You don't really play it in casual games, but you can for tournaments, and that's all they're saying. So, okay. Anyone got anything exciting or breathtaking to say about that?
Just a fantastic picture, to be honest.
It was apparently a really good event, Steve.
Was it a good event? Was it well run? I liked the streaming. I thought the streaming was very well done from that event.
I'm very modest.
I can't credit
it was entirely down to my co-host. He was only good.
So command orders. So this is more something of a bigger deal. So there are some members of the community that are allergic to the word command now, but I think these are far more in line with the commands you might see in Warpath. Not that I play Warpath. So they dabbled with command dice. They adopted a more consistent approach. Each army has its own command orders. Each of the commanders you play that are on the table and not routed can attempt to issue one to any friendly units within 12 inches, even if no matter the status of the commander. Each order has a target number required to make it successful, and some might also be restricted to a particular trait or unit type. For example, decaying horde, trait, or infantry only. Some of the commanders are designated as champions, others are warlords. So we'll come on to that in army construction, but essentially every battalion has to have a warlord, or has to have a commander, at least one, of which one can be a warlord, which is like a special commander that unlocks certain things. Champions roll 2d6, warlords roll 3d6. They cannot be using commanders themselves. So I think these are much more focused on the flavor aspect of the game. So they're hoping, I don't know, because I haven't seen them, and we haven't been given any command orders in the rules that we've been given. We've only been given the basic rules. But the intent is that a lot of the flavor and uniqueness of forces will be unlocked with command orders. Andy, you were allergic to command dice, weren't you?
I hate to say it, but yes, I was. Amongst many other people, I would also like to point out. But I don't think these are going to work like the command dice at all. I think these are going to be more akin to auras, and obviously this is just baseless speculation on my part. but maybe instead of auras, you have things like these command orders that function similarly.
Yeah. I would say it's very much like the Dead Zone and Firefight and Epic Warpath. It's bringing in the pew pew mechanism into there, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just good. It brings consistency to Kings of War, where it was outside the. Very different to the other Mantic games.
Yeah, I think a couple of comments here. One is that command orders to replace army special rules. I think there are still army special rules, I think. But I think they are a lot more flavor. Like, well, they are actually a bit more
commander
like
spells. Yeah, good point.
I have seen.
By the way,
are
a serious echo on this call.
Yeah, it's in. Sorry, it's Bob's speakers, I think.
So Jen can hear.
Yeah. So I think they are. I was going to say, yeah, I've noticed in the army list there's a lot less auras ingrained in the list. So previously we're quite used in version 3 just to have, this aura, and you use the auras to kind of mesh together and can work on list synergy. A lot of that mechanism, I think, is being built into the commands, I would imagine, I would hope. Because I think without that, the list might feel a little bit vanilla. Less of the synergies in them, but with commands you'd really want to. But I guess I don't have any information on it. I think with the expansion, because they have said that you get 4 armies get kind of a deeper expansion each time they do a lore book every 6 months, and those armies will get more commands to operate and kind of improve the depth of play and increase the flavor. But I don't know. So Sturgis says, welcome in, hope you're feeling better. Says, look forward to command orders. I loved command dice. Also, I love stuff that's a bit more random and not too chess-like. I don't know what this means. I don't know. But thanks for commenting. It's great to have you. Yeah, just talking to people talking about kill. Okay, so, and this is the question that I've got worried about. No one wants to be in the last book, right? So if you've got like a book every 6 months with 4 armies in it, then there is going to be an army that's not going to be out for a couple of years, right? And it's just going to have the basic list. And whoever has that list is going to feel a little bit cheated, maybe.
I suppose it also depends on what they're actually basing the release schedule on. So is it the factions that need the model updates for soonest, or need the range fleshing out the most that are going to be going soonest? I mean, again, we're going to have to wait and see.
I would imagine they would be. That kind of makes a lot of sense to me. To use the ranges that need fleshing out or need renewing the most, but also the most popular ones, maybe that people are always keen on buying. Maybe, I mean, elves need a redo. They've been promising Kings of Men models. Ronnie's been talking about Varangur a lot for reasons I don't quite understand. Are Varangur a popular army?
Yeah.
Are they? Oh,
in my house, yes.
Popular in the Fork household.
Yeah. So that's the army that I'm starting back again with. So I'm going to be a little cheesed if it's now been completely deleted.
No, he did say explicitly, didn't he? In the Clash of Kings chat, he says, "Don't start a Varangur army now because I'm making minis for it." He did say that really explicitly. So
that's fine. You're making new minis for it. It's fine. It's the entire army disappearing was my biggest fear.
Oh yeah.
I thought I'd absolutely cursed it by saying, right, yes. Here's my 2,500 points of Varangur that I've painted up. Ready for Dan Barr's event up in Carlisle in May, when I'll be back on the scene again.
Yeah, I think combined or a feature or an unlock of the Northern Alliance list is probably how they'll go, I should imagine. Yep. And it says, don't worry, the army is still there in some form.
Many Varangur players were at Clash.
One. But I think Clash isn't always the most decisive one because people bring them armies. Yeah. They bring a Mantic army because they want to get the voucher or whatever, or the mini, and it's harder to bring a Mantic Varangur army.
Good point.
So, scenarios and game sizes. So, this is interesting. We know that players most of the time pick the simplest scenario where armies line up knock nubs. Well, do they? I think possibly when learning to play, that's the case, but people tend to want to play scenarios. That's the standard game, which is just kill. So, kill is no longer a scenario, it's just a standard game.
Sorry, just to point out, Varangur are the 5th most popular army in the UK, according to Kings of War Masters database.
Ooh, well, there you go. I wonder if they looked. That's all right. I wonder if they looked at the usage stats to say which armies are being used the most, to think about which armies would then be going into the redevelopment chain.
Or inversely.
Yeah, or vice
That
versa. Yeah.
almost implies non-use of a dartboard for decision-making at Mantic.
Yeah. Okay, right. We'll come on to that. So they are. They've set up. To do this, so they've got all the various scenarios, loot, bluff, etc., grouped into categories, and have added 6 pre-configured terrain maps and 3 deployment setups. So, I'm cordially against setting maps in rule books because what happens is people just use those maps. When we had Epic, I've been trying to wean people off just using the Epic Dwarf maps for years, because every single time Epic Dwarf, because I just feel there's room. Kings of War is a game where there is room for more variety. Otherwise, if imagine we had to Clash of Kings and we could set up the same 6 maps across every table, it'd be incredibly dull and very hard to do scenarios. You can't do more interesting terrain if you're doing that. What do you guys think about standardized terrain maps?
No, don't like them.
No.
I mean, are the terrain maps in the rulebook just suggestions, or are people going to be expected to use them? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen them. They've added 6 pre-configured terrain maps. I suppose what they'll put is they'll say, here's some example of terrain you can use, but once you get the hang of it, please feel free to make up your own.
Yeah.
But I just, yeah. I mean, like Bart said, we make new maps every tournament. For Clash, we just chuck the stuff on the table and hope it works. But for Masters, we have a set map. So Bob designs our maps for Masters every year to make them challenging for Masters players. But yeah, you're quite right. You buy it, you play it how you want to. So there's that. And I was interested by 3 deployment setups. So, Kings of War for its entire history has had 1 deployment setup, which is 12 inches back from the baseline, from the center line. What do you think? 3 deployment setups? I'm wondering, will it be
on the corners and diagonal?
It's going to be one on each end, one on the long end, and then a diagonal one. So that's going to be it. Anything more exciting than that? Well, what about if you have split deployments, like one army deploys in the middle, one army deploys into the corners, or something like that? That'd be fun.
No, but you could do a Battenberg approach with your army spread across like that and like that.
Could do.
That's more Tommy Cooper than Battenberg. Just like that.
I think we're dating ourselves really badly with these comments at the moment. There's going to be people out there going, "What on earth are they talking about?"
Yeah, I think we're very much.
It's only going to get worse because there's people
this doesn't date me at all, does it?
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
The fact that
I thought you were here in your capacity, Bob, as living memory.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I didn't really understand what they said. They said in the advanced section, we've got the scenarios, terrain maps, and deployment setups. If you randomize these elements, there are a few hundred possible game setups. We imagine some event organizers may pre-select scenarios and setups for their games, which is fine, but rolling to find out just before the game is fun too. So I hope they're not suggesting that we should only use their setup, because people just won't. But let's see. And there's 3.
Yes, Steve. I'd love to see us trying to standardize terrain maps for 105, 110 tables next year. That's going to be hilarious.
It's not going to happen.
It's
So
not going to happen.
So the point is, Flames of War uses deployment maps linked to scenarios. So when there's a specific scenario that requires a type of deployment, I get it. That makes sense, right? So if you have to have a certain type of deployment.
Yeah, but only 3 people in the UK still play Flames of War.
And Nigel's here.
Well, the other 2 must be playing themselves then.
They're playing each other tonight. That's what they're doing. So there's 3 game sizes. So these are familiar to us. There's ambush games of up to 1,000. So it's interesting. They're keeping ambush separate from champions. So champions as a starting kind of buy a box, play for box. They're keeping ambush of up to 1,000 points. So 1 battalion. So we'll come on to army rules, but a small battalion of 1,000 points. No warlords or titans, and all auxiliary units become core. So auxiliary are a little bit like the starred units in current, right? So they are limited number. They don't count towards things, but they count as core in this. So basically lots of troops running around causing chaos. Standard games of they've not specified it. So we've been told tomorrow to bring a 2,000 point list, which we have done. So the game's been, I assume, balanced for 2,000 points back down to kind of a standard 2K. But you can go up to 2,999 with 1 to 2 battalions. And then legendary games for anything you want on a massive table. 2 warlords instead of 1 per battalion. Huge stupid games which people do like on occasion.
Yeah, we have one planned at Christmas because we at the club we tend to get together and do a massive game.
Yeah, it's good fun. So I would like. I mean, the problem is, well, we used to be 2,000 in the UK, didn't we? And then we went all American with 20. It used to be 2,250, and then they added 50 points because they wanted more toys, which is why it's been 2,300 for a while. I quite like a nice round 2,000 points. The reason people didn't, keep to it was because of the restrictions around number of war engines and heroes and such. That's gone away with the army building. So theoretically, there's no reason to not be sticking to 2,000. I would hate to see it creep up more, but maybe the game will feel too small at 2,000 points. They haven't been playing for 2,300 for a while. What do you guys think?
I think so. I think having had experience of writing an army for 2,000 points under the new system, normally I'm looking at between 14 and 16 drops.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to get 11, 12 in it at 2,000 points. Even judging for the 300 points is not 4 or 5 drops.
It's not. I think the size seems to have come down. So my lists I've got 2 lists and they're both 12 units with 2,000 points in the new system.
I think when it said, or I don't know whether we got to that yet or not, but it has said that there's been a points adjustment. So they've used a new rubric to change the points. I think it's in the Army Builder blog.
Yeah.
But they say that all the points have been adjusted to a new scheme. So, I mean, the old one used to be the Shield Wall unit, wasn't it? The 100-point unit regiment that was the baseline for everything else. I don't know whether they've picked another unit or just made a magic formula up or something like that, but they've adjusted the points to be more in keeping to balance the game according to the blog.
I think what's interesting is so that's right. They've smaller armies at smaller points, so they are smaller, but a battalion fits quite nicely. So the list, I'll pick it up and have a look at it, but it's like 4 core, 4 specialists, 4 everything. We'll talk about it in a minute, and some heroes. To squeeze another couple of units in, I probably need another battalion, which means I'm probably going to need quite a lot more points than 2,000. So I wonder if the list building restrictions are designed to have this style of play. So more compact armies, but using their more variety and kind of types of lists you can build. So let's talk about that in a bit. Anyway, so complex cases and clarification. So they've dedicated several pages to highlighting a few of the more complex or tricky situations you may encounter. It's helpful to expand on examples in the core rules. We have not captured every potential situation. No, you haven't, because let me tell you, I've been chatting to a good friend of mine who's, let's just say, he's on the detail side of rules reading, and he's been in finding lots of fun scenarios that he's coming tomorrow as well out of the rules that I wouldn't even have thought of. He's like, what about if I did this and then this and then this? And I'm like, I really don't know what you're talking about.
I think you're going to run into that, though. I just hope that these clarifications are going to be well written and clear, because we have had situations in the past with the rule books where they've tried to clarify a rule and then only ended up making it, clear, less clear.
Yeah, exactly. I think I think the rules still need some tidying a little bit, but they're doing that piece of work, which is why they've asked people to read over them. So I'd say it's 90% there, 90+% there. Just some tweaks to go is what I'd say. So let's see.
I think there's some layout issues and there's some clarifications that need to come through certainly with the rule set that I've seen. There's some just a couple of minor things and some startling revelations that have been tucked away in throwaway sentences at the end of paragraphs and things like that, and you think that's actually quite important. I'm not going to go into details for obvious reasons, but yeah, there's one or two of those things that sort of come across as being, it's a bit of a throwaway thing at the end of a phase rule, and you just think that's, it's quite big.
I think reading the rules in detail is important for sure. Yeah.
And I also hope that these clarifications that they put in, like Andy said, they are well written, because being a TO in Kings of War, we all know that no matter how well read on the rules you are, there's always going to be a situation where you walk up to the table and the two players stood there with puppy dog eyes going, can you sort out this? And you look at it and you go, what the are you managed to do? How have you got in that situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is a good point here from Erasmus. I like it. So if the list building restrictions curb spam, we might not need extra points to fit in unnecessary counters. So that's a fair point. And I do think the new, and we talk about it when we come to list construction, I mean, I really like it, but it's pretty hard to spam anything that isn't core. I would say the core stuff is not really stuff you not necessarily want to spam. But let's see.
That statement, Steve, has made me very happy.
As long as zombies are core, you don't care, right? So it's all fine.
Well, let's face it. You're not going to have them as specialists, are you?
There might be support troops, though.
So, I'm just want to briefly touch on this story because I think hidden in this is kind of interesting. So Matt Gilbert's been tippy tapping away on his keyboard. So it's a story about Golek Skinflayer and his Ratkin slaves. It is an outrageous libel against the noble Gnor Ratkin slaves, claiming that they're terrible in combat, so on and so forth. But essentially, it's basically a story about Ratkin slaves not being very good in Abyssal Dwarfs anymore, and that I've seen the Abyssal Dwarf list. There was definitely Ratkin slaves in it, so I don't think that they're not written out. But I think Ronnie's been very clear that this is one of the lists that was going to be combined at a minimum. It's definitely there. It's a really good example of unlockable stuff, but we'll see how that plays out, whether anyone wants to play them or not in the new list formation, I suppose. Cybran says core spam, or as I like to call it, fielding an army, which is...
Well, he would say that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Maybe there is a Specials Defense 6 zombie unit. God, I hope not.
Ooh, zombie giant, please. Zombie giant. Oh,
Zombie giant would be very cool.
That would be really cool. I'd love to see a zombie giant.
I've got the mini. I've got a mini for it already.
I think I'd probably make one, right? Anyway, so that's enough about... Anyone got anything to say about Ratkin slaves and Abyssal Dwarfs?
I think it's a good idea.
That could be my zombie giant.
Nice.
I think it's a good idea, because you can still get access to the army if you want to. You're going to be able to unlock it. Yeah, why not? I mean, there have been complaints that there are too many armies in the game. I think more the merrier, but I suppose it does make it difficult for Mantic when they're having to write rules for every single one.
Yeah.
So if you're rolling them back into factions.
Okie dokie. Now we are on to, what are we on to now? We're on to building armies. That's all anyone cares about, isn't it? Let's talk about that. Building armies. So here we are. Building an army for any war game can be a fun process. Yeah, nice. Okay, good. This is Matt Gilbert. So good. Army building has found a great place. They want to make so list building experience cleaner and clearer to help balance armies better. So they are categorized. So each unit is either core, auxiliary, which is a type of core, specialists, support, or commanders, and they are subdivided into champions and warlords. The diagram is the best way to understand this rather than the text. Someone on Facebook did post a very nice text summary, which I believe Mantic might be stealing. But this is kind of the structure of it, right? So you need at least 2 core. You can have 1 auxiliary per core unit. You can have 1 specialist, up to 4 for each core unit. And then each pair of auxiliary of specialist and core units that you have in any combination unlocks a commander and unlocks a support unit. And you can have 4 support units and 4 commanders, one of which is a warlord. Right? So to my mind, this is the way that I've gone around building these. Does that make sense to everyone? Number one, does everyone know?
That's Dead Zone.
Right, so they use similar. They've used a similar mechanic, right? That's the point.
Yeah.
Never played Dead Zone, but it does look, it looks fairly straightforward.
Yeah. So the way that I've been building lists to start with, without having Mantic Companion, having to use Excel, is basically whacking in 4 core units and then thinking about what I want. Right, so because you find 4 core units, right? Now I can have anything, and then you find a combination of stuff. And I couldn't have everything that I wanted, but I got to a reasonable place where I was quite happy for a starting list. How did you go about it, Bob, when you were building?
I looked at all my nicely painted models and went, I want to take that, and that. Worked out what was core. I've ended up with 3 core, 3 specialists, and 3 commanders.
Okay, so just 9 units.
No, I've got 2 support units as well. I've got 11.
Okay, cool. So Nigel asks, are commanders mandatory? So you have to have 1 commander per battalion, right? He's like your champion or your warlord. I've ended up with 3 in both my lists actually, but I haven't got a warlord in one of the lists. I simply took the warlord in one of my lists because it changed the army composition in the Twilight King. I took a specific hero to make something that was specialist core by taking that.
I've took a hero that changes a support into a specialist, so I can take a specific unit and not have problems putting everything I wanted in.
Exactly. So irregular doesn't exist anymore. Instead, there are auxiliary units, which are often the troop size of core units or some kind of chaff, where you need to unlock them with a core. But once you've unlocked them, you can take as many as you like, as long as it's 1 per core unit that you've got, right? So regiments and hordes being the core units that can unlock. So regiments unlock as much as hordes, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So you can just have regiment, and then you can have anything you like from the rest of the army. It counts as much as a horde, whereas previously a horde was like the core block that unlocked cool stuff. Now a regiment does the same kind of function. So have you tried building Filth List as an exercise? Yeah. So one of my lists. Go on, Bob.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, sorry, Andy, what was that?
That's part of the fun, isn't it? Building Filth List.
Yeah. I'm not kind of an expert list builder. There are people out there who are really expert at building filth, and I'd be very interested to see what they do. I think, I don't know. I got to be honest. I really like the new list structure. It felt like I was being funneled into building a more balanced list, so that I couldn't just take spam. Or if I was going to spam something, it would be really boring. Like it would be boring, not that interesting at all, or it would have a major weakness in it. Just for the list that I had. Like if I took in Twilight, and if I just took regiments and hordes of Void Walkers, Corsairs, it's just a terrible army. Why would I do that, right?
Did you feel that it would kind of limit spam armies, as in people taking Basileans with just entire Elohi stuff, or the kind of army
We don't
that
know
you'd
because
see?
we've not seen the Basilean list.
Not seen the Basilean list.
Yeah.
I bet you money that Julius turns Elohi from support to specialist or specialist to core or something like that. I bet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Money.
That sounds sensible.
Sounds reasonable, right? I think what's been really limited. Go on. Sorry.
I have painted an extra unit on the strength of seeing the list for the Northern Alliance. I've accidentally painted another unit of a certain troop type.
So you can have it.
Yeah.
I think it limits dragons. I would say. I think it's really hard to have loads and loads and loads of dragons and loads and loads and loads of flyers. You can have them, but they're going to be the feature. They can have one or two feature units. So things. I wonder whether we'll see Triple Phoenix anymore, or whether you'd need 2 battalions to have Triple Phoenix, and it's probably doable, but it might limit the rest of your army. Stuff like that. I've tried to cram as much flying as I can to my Night Stalker list because I think flying is still very strong, and I've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 flying units in there, which is a lot.
Wow.
But 3 of them are champions, and 2 of them are casters. So they're banshees, right? So they fly around. So not like strong flying units. And that's just because I'm trying to make a broken list, just to see how it would play at the playtest. So I think it makes list building really interesting. You have to make quite hard choices. I know people don't necessarily like making hard choices, but I think I quite like that. But that's just me.
Not having all the toys is part of the game, isn't it?
It depends. Depends if you go to Battle Masters or not.
I think somebody earlier said, sure, the point score will be whatever can be played realistically in 50 to 55 minutes. I think that was quite accurate. That
was a good shout, actually. Yeah.
Don't know who it was, but it was earlier in the stream.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it yet. I think that's a really good shout. I missed this quality comment as well when we're talking about terrain. L-shaped ruins only, please. Absolutely. All over it.
Yeah,
ETC
Mr.
map.
Whittaker, back in your box.
I see you in.
Don't be so mean to Ian.
We're not allowed to be mean to individual people. Somebody keeps shouting at me. Another live stream. You need to get the info out earlier. I mean, I posted it on Wednesday, but I'm in Facebook jail, so sometimes my Facebook posts don't show up until later. But it did come out.
No, and I have very good Wi-Fi on the bus to be able to put out the reminders.
Right. So allies are gone. Is this a statement we agree with? Including allies in any kind of competitive setting always creates a problem for balance and the horrible combinations people will find.
I've never found it to be.
In version 2, maybe.
You weren't being spoken to. Anyway.
Hello, trolls number 1 and 2.
No.
From Dream 17. Oh, saucy.
Yeah.
So there's no alignments. No one's good, evil, or neutral anymore. Everyone's just the same. Players are free to make.
It's woke madness. It's woke madness.
It's woke madness. No, players are free to make up whatever rules they want for their own game. So yeah, you want allies? Have allies at home.
Orcs only want to be hugged and kissed. That's
all happy.
To be misunderstood.
With an act.
Okay, so onto army lists. So we, as we kind of referenced it briefly already before, playtesting, list champions, tons of options. So the rulebook contains a standard list for most armies. They have loads of options, and that's fair. You know, they do have some options. I'd say less options than we're used to. I don't expect kind of as much options, certainly from the ones that I've seen. But there is still plenty of options. You can still make bunches of different lists. As you roll out the expansion books, lists will start to get some more combos, command orders, and even a few faction-specific spells. So they're going to chance to go forward to make armies more mantic. So the general rule applies: if we haven't released a plastic model range for a faction yet, when we come to do it, it could look very different, similar to what happened to Twilight Kin. Well, I hope they are better than the Corsairs. So the first book has Salamanders, Halflings, Trident Realm, and Faction A. So I think Salamanders will be fully digital, they've said, but those are the 4 that are going to get more fleshed out rules. I don't play any of those lists, so let's stick with my core armies. There's a question. Does Jarvis go away? Is Jarvis still a thing?
If Sai's got anything to do about it, yes, he should be.
That's fair. Cy Brown's been involved in this. Cy, if you're still watching, is Jarvis still in? Tell us. Tell us. Go on. Tell us, please. Tell us. See if he pops up.
The thing is, I remember the Mary Whitehouse experience, and Jarvis was a complete pervert played by Rob Newman.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I can't look at Jarvis without thinking, hello.
Here's a little thing that Ian Sturgis has sent me via Facebook chat that I just noticed, and he's not put it in the text because he's a coward. He says Ratkin Slaves is still one of the best Abyssal Dwarfs lists, and he thinks they're stronger than in the last edition. And he's seen the version 4 Abyssal Dwarf list. So Ratkin Slaves, it's all about it. That's a good point. Jarvis has a model. He should be safe.
Yeah, but Sai's replied further up.
Oh, you need to remember, this is very political from Brand here. You need to remember the story has moved on a number of years.
Perhaps he's got a beard now. Or
Jarvis
like
is
that.
dead?
Jarvis is dead? My baby's dead?
Maybe he's undead.
He's on the, maybe he's a video. Maybe he's going to be in the second
So
book.
it's Jarvis to Lynch.
Yeah. They said, ooh, that's how I feel too. I like that. Please keep saying stuff like that. It's good. All right, so the new points formula, that's what we talked about before. New points formula adjusted for years of game experience and games played in terms of, so apply the course everyone. So everyone feels comfortable. I've noticed some big point shifts in units.
I'm calling BS on the formula. I'm absolutely calling BS on this. We've been through this every single version of Kings of War from version 1 onwards, trying to work out whether there's some sort of mathematical formula behind it. There simply isn't.
Well,
there's a reference point. There's a reference point, which was the shield wall, and then it was better than, worse than, and things were added. But there was no overriding mathematical formula there based on movement, strength, toughness, whatever. It simply wasn't there.
What, you mean they're just making it up as they go along?
More or less, yeah. There certainly
What?
wasn't a mathematical formula behind it. We spent a long time doing maths on that.
I can't
Seriously,
comment.
when he's trying to do 14 simultaneous equations all together, it tends to get a little bit heavy.
Yeah. It's in now. So, that Jarvis now has an Evil Dead style chainsaw arm and shotgun. Here we go. John Fawkes is quite wrong, and John Quare will fight him over it.
Fine. Bring it.
Fine. Yeah, John Quare is the master of the equation.
That should be interesting on the stream for next Clash, that.
There is a formula,
Battle of
and
the
it actually
Johns.
hurts my brain. So there you go.
Oh, there might be one now, and hopefully there is. But let's say back in version 1 and 2, there certainly wasn't.
Oh yeah. There was definitely there have been big point shifts. I think some will surprise people, some will not. Nothing feels egregiously wrong in the list that I've seen. I don't look at something and go, "Oh, that's a bit weird." I mean, Mikhail was always too expensive. He's been too expensive since he was invented. So whatever. Right. Let's move on. Artifacts. There's a bunch of magical artifacts. Some weren't taken. Some were a boring crutch because they were auto includes. I don't know what you mean. You dwarf king with the beast slayer, right? Or mummy with wings. These kind of things.
Wingy Kingy.
Wingy kingy, the wingy kingy. Artifacts have had a refresh. They've got rid of the split points values to simplify things. New artifacts might appear in future, and they've added a couple of new ones. Where have they? Yeah. Oh, here they are. Oh. Here, let's play a fun game. John, pick a page between 12 and 50 because that's what I printed out.
34.
34, perfect. Right, pick a paragraph between 1 and 15.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The unit stays where it is. Good. Let's play that again a little bit. Guess if we get bored. Right, so how updates happen. Books go out of print and out of date. We all know that. We may take the opportunity to publish some unit updates and expansion books. All changes will certainly be in the companion, which will be updated in a published schedule and be the master source for all unit profiles and points. There will no longer be a Clash of Kings book of updates. The cock is gone. They are replaced with the expansion books.
No yearly cock.
The big well, there is one. It's just that we have to run it. The big focus of the expansion books is Panathor's evolving narrative, new command orders, and maybe a new spell. So I saw there was one chap got terribly upset that they weren't going to have updated rule books every year. But I think there are still going to be books. There's going to be more books. They're just going to have faction orders and such in them. I don't object to this. I don't object to going online to look up rules, which is where we look them up anyway. It's nice to have a book. I get it. But it's the modern world, boys and girls. Is that not the case?
Yeah, it's got. I mean, yeah, get it. I do like to have a book.
I like a book. I've got a pathetic collection. I mean, it's a massive collection of Kings of War books now. I even managed to get all. I got Mark Zelinsky. Shout out Mark Zelinsky. Bought from America for me the last Mantic journal that I was missing. So I've got all 5 of the original Mantic journals they did. They're really cool. I like those. Yeah, and the original kind of rule pamphlets. There's one that I'm missing that Dan King's got and I haven't got. And I'm very jealous. Here's a question: have formations been disbanded? I don't think I've seen anything about formations. I think it's more going to be, a different name thing, isn't it? But if you take a certain captain, then you unlock certain units. That's kind of the formation thing now, right? So you get certain effects by taking certain heroes. That's really what formations have become, I would say. Back in my day, video games were called books. Name the movie.
Back to the Future.
There you go. Nice.
No
I didn't know. I'm guessing.
Right.
I'm guessing. Right, and then there's some kind of nonsense about thanking some people. Who are these? John who? Mike what? Simon something. So yeah, John, Mike, and Smith. They've named you. And I would like to let people know that the Clash of Kings team name originally submitted by them was "Don't Blame Us for 4th edition," which I think was shortened to "Don't Blame Us." So yeah, that's good fun. So thank you to those guys for doing so much work, and it has been a lot of work in their spare time. So I for one am extremely grateful to them. Good. That's army building. Any final thoughts on army building before we move on to the next bit, lads, or people in the chat? How do we feel about army building? People are saying it feels like more like Age of Sigmar, was it? More like Warpath.
Yeah.
Warhammer 6th kind of style. Is that kind of what we're feeling?
It's more like work. Bring the companion in so I can just take the fucking units I want, and it works out whether the army list is valid
or not.
That's what I need.
We have been spoiled.
None of this. I've been sat here with pen and paper for the past week.
I know.
Steam coming off the top of my head.
Yeah, I
can't have that because you've got not enough this and that, and just where you get back to tick the boxes.
It's more fun to tick the boxes, but then you're going to get frustrated if it doesn't let you. I want one. I want 4 soul flayers. Yeah. Bart says it's really not difficult. Spoiling.
I suppose that's a massive insult if an American tells you it's not difficult.
No.
There's always someone that stirs the pot.
Yeah.
Bart's just cross because I stole his scoring system and renamed it and then claimed it was mine. So it's all good. Bart's the real inventor of the Clash of Kings scoring system. But there you go. We call that. How themed battalions work out is much more interesting. I think so. I think there are a number of ways to build armies, and you will see people work that out more and more. I think people won't like feeling restricted to start with. I think people are so used to just whacking down 10 of whatever they like. I think it's going to take a while for people to get used to it. But I think once you're into it, I had quite a lot of fun kind of messing around with different list types and seeing what I could get in. Like I started like Bob did, going, right, what units do I actually have though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I went from there. Are there generic? Go on. Sorry.
I'll say, and in time, people will know instinctively what is going to be core and what's going to be specialist based on what it is. It'll become very, very easy for people to, if it's infantry, board and sword, it's going to be core. If it's if it's going to cause absolute devastation if you take 6 of them, it's likely to be a support. This is what it'll become very, very easy. It's just at the moment everybody's going. But remember, we still worked through the period where we had a horde unlocking a Titan, a hero, and infantry units and things like that anyway. So we already had that scheme. It's just a more elegant way of doing it.
I think so. So it was asking, Jebba says, are there generic warlords or are they all named characters? So the warlords, no, there are generic ones as well.
Yeah.
So I think dragons are more likely to be warlords. I don't know if that's the case in every list.
Steve, I'm not sure if you can tell me or not, but can you assign a warlord to any commander? As in, it's the one who runs your army.
No, so there's 2 types of heroes that you can pick.
Yeah.
So they're all commanders, right? But some of them are labeled as champions, and some of them are labeled as warlords.
Okay.
And so you have to have only one warlord per battalion. But even within that, there are certain that are labeled as like brackets 1. You can only have one of them in your army. And some of them are labeled as U, which means they're a unique hero. I think can you only take one unique hero, Bob? Is that?
Yeah.
So you can't take more than one unique hero. It kind of limits you to. Is that right? I might make that up.
I think it's per battalion.
Yeah. I don't know if it says here or not. Oh yeah, anything that's unique to an army gets a U, so you can select it once in your list, regardless of how many battalions. Right? Yes. So you can have like multiple the same warlord 3 or 4 times, but only one of the unique one. Got it. Okay.
So you can't have 3 Morgoths, for example.
No, that's why it's unique.
Yeah. Okay, so warlords
it
are the expensive.
Mandatory, but it is unique.
Yeah. All good. Okay, cool. So, what was the? And then there was another story, which was a Varangur story.
Yeah, with ice elementals.
I noticed that.
Mm.
So it's a story about. I mean, it's just when somebody smashes a keyboard to make a name.
Yeah.
He's from Urskral. Blah 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 blah. Some pack hunters. So if you want to think of what units are in the Varangur army, well, let's have a little look, shall we? There's Direfangs. Okay. Hearthguard. Sons of Korg. Oh, Sons of Korgan are now Hearthguard. That's what he said. They're dragons. Did he say dragons?
Jabberwock.
The Jabberwock. He despises dragons.
Right.
Tundra wolves and snow foxes exist. Cavern Dweller is there. Night Raiders are there.
Yeah, Night Raiders are just another name for pack hunters in that story, I think.
And Ice Elementals. The Magus Irsa Stromfield. And then a Jabberwock, yeah. So that is cool. Oh no, the Jabberwock was so it was a Jabberwock, but has now become a demon.
He's been corrupted into a demon.
Nice.
Whoa! So we're getting a big demon princey type model.
Maybe.
Another one.
Another one. They've already got one, haven't they?
Yeah. They got the bloke with the axe that's like unfeasibly large.
But
That's
didn't they?
Yeah, but that's not in the. That's not in Varangur.
No, that's an abyssal. Well, they're fighting abyssals, and the
Ah,
character that's named in there is the leader of the abyssals. He was a Jabberwock, but he's been corrupted into being an abyssal demon.
you see, I didn't read the rest of it. I just listened to what Steve just said.
Yeah, well, you know.
So there's an
No,
interesting
well-
point that Si's made here. So if I was on the rules committee here, so one of the things we kept asking ourselves when faced with a changing rule was, is it bad or is it just different? An attitude he would recommend people adopt, and I think that's fair. When you're
Could be
playing,
both, though.
yeah.
I
It's
used
new.
to think it's more, if I do it, will I get into trouble?
So regards this story, I think this is very perceptive of Erasmus. Varangur sounds a lot like reskinned Northern Alliance,
Well, they always were, weren't they?
which that's always been the intention, isn't it? I think what it means is that if they bring out Varangur units, they're going to be based on the existing Northern Alliance models, right? And it's
Look,
probably,
Probably.
I want confirmation. Can I use Droga, Mounted Sons of Korgan, Tundra Wolves, Frostfang Cavalry, Cavern Dwellers, Thane and Frostfang, and Snow Troll Primes? Not that I'm asking for a friend, obviously. Not my list that I'm going to take to the Undercroft.
Somebody's looking at papers.
don't know.
Golly.
Maybe is the answer I think you're looking for there. Right.
No. No.
Just
Maybe and yes.
Yes. No, maybe yes.
okay.
That's more painting then, isn't it?
Yeah. So what else is left? Oh, and then there's this thing about talking about that dragon thing you're talking about. So picking the new releases, right? King's Wolf. Let me share the right screen. So they do another hilarious sketch. Where is it? Oh, it's here. This one? Yeah. So here they are. Blah blah blah. They throw a dartboard at the thing.
I think Matt was very lucky not to get a dart between the eyes with that fling.
And he goes for three-legged dragon.
I wonder how many times he filmed that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Somebody was
three-legged
just
Holes
off
in the
camera
wall.
from about a foot and a half away.
yeah. Okay, so that they may be a three-legged dragon.
There may be a two-legged dragon with a large appendage.
No.
I do believe I've heard that before.
The tripod.
Dragon.
We've
Yes.
got placoderms. So this will make some Trident Realm players happy. Plastic placoderms come in, so you don't have to carry a massive, heavy weight of a unit around anymore.
I can just imagine all the Trident Realms guys doing that thing Vic Reeves does when he rubs his legs.
We're not swinging with pants at the minute.
And then
That was Trevor Simon.
that's actually semantic photographer there, by the way. And they roll out the word
Dogs.
dogs.
Traps.
Mm-hmm.
Strokey beard time. Mark's side right placoderms. So placoderms, dogs, and three-legged dragons. There you go. So
We're getting
so-
a
Actually,
word.
gods and
Crap.
the dyslexic.
yeah. So then, last but not least, they have looking backwards and forwards. So this is the final blog they posted today. Was it today? No, yesterday, Friday, right?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, and there isn't a great deal, I think, in here.
Was it
Because-
looking backwards,
A short
looking
summary of
forwards?
everything that's been going on.
Everything they've gone over so far. So there's nothing. It's why it's their rationale for doing each of the changes, right? Which you can agree with or not, but there's nothing kind of
Yeah,
a
but
unit
there's-
center point is kind of becoming really important. Rather, so that's not been in the rules previously, but actually in the new rules, where the center of the unit becomes an important distinction. For things like cover.
And really difficult to mark.
Yeah. Just have to put a pillar right in the middle of every
Yeah.
unit that you can pick them up
On
and spin
every
them around.
unit.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah.
enjoy.
This blog does include the free gift of 3 extra games.
Oh, like that, Andy.
That's what I use as handles for my ogre army.
So let's skip down because we've been through all this stuff before about shooting plus and minuses, line of sight cover, charges, not a shortest route, the new withdraw and reform, blah, blah, splitting your attacks, so on and so forth. And then they have dice games that you can use your command dice so they're not wasted to play. Has anyone looked? I hands up. I haven't even opened these. Are they any good?
I haven't either.
We lost John. We lost John.
No idea. I've not heard of. I've not seen him.
Lost John. What a shame.
Battle Deck, a game for 2 players using Kings of War command dice.
Lost me too. Not visible.
1 standard deck of playing cards. Oh gosh, these are quite complex rules.
So, do you think Mantic will start selling playing cards then as well?
Special Mantic playing cards. So Kodos says that look at the artwork shows the invasion. Some of the unknown creatures look like they could have 3 legs. Yeah, or a tail. Right? So I think 3-legged dragon is probably, I don't know. Whether I bet it was just a red herring. I'm not quite sure.
Well, Mark thinks that they're bipedal dogs from the east.
Well,
you know how venerated dogs are in the east.
Dog army.
Well, they only get eaten a little bit.
Yeah, what they say is a dog isn't just for Christmas. With some left over for New Year.
Oh. So army list, blah, 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 blah. So there's new factions we've got. Deep dive, even Magic Companion, a lot of armies and factions consolidates a few of these, so we can evolve armies or bring out new units as the expansion books roll out. We fully intend to bring out models and armies for things in the lore like Varangur in the future. So, fully stating you're getting Varangur, grand plans for everything. No lore is being retconned. Armies could get revamps with their model ranges too. God, please, not more dwarves. Can we have another army for the dwarves? For the love of God.
Well,
please take goblins seriously.
If you follow the way the novels are going, what you're going to have is the combined abyssal dwarfs and rebel dwarfs, the loyalists of the Imperials, and the free dwarfs, and possibly another faction.
Yeah,
according to the novels, anyway.
Oh God!
Starting to get the dwarves splintering into various different things.
So you'd have different heroes unlocking different types of units. So the way they've got them in the lists is if there's multiple things in there, they've got a 0 behind them in the normal list, and they go up in the limited number you can have by unlocking a certain hero. So they are there, but you can't use them until you've bought the correct hero, and which I think is pretty fun. And it's something harking back to what you said earlier, Bob. To existing players, please read all of the new rule. But while we've covered many key changes, there are a lot of subtle changes you'll miss if you don't start, and that's something. Reading through the rules, that's I called it. We don't like printing off great big things, but I printed this just so that I can make sure I'm getting it right. And we'll make mistakes, I'm sure, as you go through. But I'm relatively excited. Yeah, I agree with this. Bloody dwarves. Some wise and erudite commentator.
What you mean, sitting 2 spaces below you on the screen? If this was proper University Challenge, I'd be putting my foot through the bloody roof and kicking him in the head.
Yeah.
Bloody sick of it.
Yeah. Till I was 14, I thought they actually did sit above each other.
So did I.
100%. 100% thought they were sitting in the studio. Yeah, so that's been some of the Mantic stuff. Until we go tomorrow, I don't know how much we're allowed to say about what we've been sent, what we've been given, what we play. If we're allowed to do a catch-up, we're going to come on Bob and Jan's wonderful podcast, The Warriors.
Tales from the Warriors Hall.
Warriors Hall. Warriors Retreat in my head. Why is it not called Warriors Retreat? The Tales of the Warriors Hall.
Tales from the Warriors Hall.
Yeah, that sounds like a rest home for warriors.
Well, it actually
it is.
It's kind of the place where you go to rest afterwards. Yeah.
Hence Kohan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Well-
Cohen the Barbarian. He bent his walking stick. Let's
It
not
all
go into
works.
that. So,
Mostly, anyway.
Marissa wants us to leak more rules. Leak more. So Andy, pick a page between 12 and 50.
Oh, 25.
25. Excellent. Right, pick a paragraph between 1 and 15.
Sorry, Marissa.
7.
Oh, actually, sorry, between 1 and 4. There's only 4 paragraphs on this page.
Oh, bloody hell. 2.
2. Do consider that the friendly unit already engaged
6, 5, and 4.
counts as blocking terrain during a charge. There you go. So more hot rules leaks here coming from. Oh, Ronnie's at the Michigan GT. They're playing some 4th edition tonight. Yeah, but can you really imagine Ronnie teaching you any rules? I mean, he's been making them up halfway through. He's worse than Forks. I mean, he's.
You get sponsored by Virgin Media, John.
I lost my connection. And it dropped off and everything shut down. And
I'm
then
not going to
had
go.
reboot
They're
it.
having work for them.
Yeah. So, I think the reason we're not kind of leaking everything is because these are still draft and there are things changing. Small things, not big things. But goes around. How do we feel? How do we feel in terms of positivity? I was feeling very positive, and then I got the rules, and I was slightly worried, and then he changed some of the rules, and I felt less worried. From my point of view, I'm excited about. I like the army construction mechanic. I think that's going to really, and that's. I think people don't understand how much of a fundamental change to how the game plays it is, because you're going from a very different mechanic. You'd have very different tools, and I think that makes it a really different game. Mostly, I just kind of want to play it out. Someone's going to break it, right? People always break it, but
yeah.
Steve, you've got to remember, change is bad.
yeah.
Well, no, not always. It just needs to be done till it's broken.
Yeah.
That's the Garth thing, isn't it? We fear change.
Yes, nothing new. We
And people in the
used
chat
to
field,
it.
are we feeling positive? Are we feeling nervous? We want to bloody well get on with it, frankly. There's going to be more and more stuff being leaked as time goes on because it's getting closer and closer to release.
Kudos, neutral curiosity. I like it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, actually, because there's been a lot of chat in our gaming group chat about it. And if anyone knows my gaming group, you'll know that there is like kind of, can we say, a negative drag factor in there, but will remain nameless. But I've been kind of cautiously optimistic about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it in full, looking forward to playing it. And I think it'll be good. I mean, I think you do need these shake-ups now and again just to stop the game going stale.
I think people
I
have
think
been.
a bit of a shake-up is exactly what's going to happen. Let's hope it is the right shake-up.
Yeah, exactly. And it is all speculation at this point, and this is the trouble. There's too much kind of speculation going, oh, it's going to kill the game. Less than I thought it would be, but there's too much of it about.
I think they've done an okay job with kind of the teasing and kind of trying to reassure people. But yeah, what's the indirect rule?
Just war machines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Signals, cover, and you can't shoot within 12 inches.
It's no different to the current rule that I can see.
Until we try playing the actual rules, there's no point in pulling them to pieces.
That's very true.
It's not the same. There is a change to the indirect rule, and I've just read it, and I've made this noise.
Well, if it
Go on.
says same,
Yeah.
it says same. But you know, at the end of the day, there is no point in us all saying, "Ooh, the world's falling on our head," and you know, it's just a case of normality.
I don't
It's
think
not that bad.
What is normal for wargamers?
Oh,
whinging.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't-
mean,
This is true.
I
by
could
the way.
see that on Marissa because it's like Undead are losing Fearless, but they're not, are they? Because there'll be some mechanism in place that takes that into account.
Fearless is still a rule.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, Fearless might just become what everybody's got. Sad to say it, but
I mean,
everybody.
like Ordered March suddenly became everybody's got Ordered March.
Yes, correct. Nimble's disappeared. Everything else has just become part of one.
Well, nimble is still a rule as well, right? It's just everyone is nimble for charging, right? And fearless is still a rule. So this is, I think, what you said there is just not true, Marissa.
Well, probably not true at all, because I've not actually looked at the rules. I've not seen this stuff.
Will there be self-deploying objective tokens?
Yeah, that would be
Yes,
fun.
totally, John. There will be. Yes.
Yeah, they
What
run
happens-
out on the table with little legs.
And what's going to happen at Clash is we're going to have them deployed by drone.
Ooh.
All operated by the same person.
Absolutely.
So this is true. The
Let's
command
get
orders,
Mr. Heath on it.
command orders look to be important, but we haven't seen an example. That's fair. I would love to see an example. Hopefully that will come in some of the future blogs they do before the rules come out. I haven't seen them. We're playing it tomorrow. So we're playing kind of a very low budget version of the game, I guess, without the fancy stuff. So that'll be interesting.
Timu Kings of War.
It's like Kings of War.
And we have
Kings of
Sheen.
War from AliExpress.
I'd rather have Sheen.
Being awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marissa, I think that's important, right? So Fearless is still a rule. Everyone has one nerve value, right? So the thing is, you can't get wavered from combat. You can only get wavered in shooting. You can't get killed from shooting unless you're devastated, right? So in that respect, everyone is Fearless in the same kind of way. However, Fearless as a rule exists, which, means you can't get wavered. So,
Agreed.
I think it's important not to I trust the people that have been working on developing these rules in general, and also it's been
You
quite an
trust people.
I trust Cy Brand and John Quell, not so much Mike Smith.
I trust Cy Brand, but yeah.
Maybe undead when they actually withdraw from combat, because you can. That is a thing now that you can withdraw. Don't have to take a route test. Who knows?
That'd be fun.
Because obviously they're not going to just run away because they're not scared.
Isn't that a rule that's called? I'm sure they said there was a rule called Feint or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
There's something called Bent.
Ben.
Feint.
Oh, right, okay.
Mike Smith says fearless as a rule is strong.
Which one's
And he's
easy?
open
There's
as an
the
angry
clever
face.
one
We
or
love
the
you, Mike. I
lucky
think you're
one?
wonderful and awesome. Sorry, what was that?
Now, come on, there's that many Smith brothers.
Yeah, I was talking about one of the other ones. It was,
Yeah.
it was Andy. Okay. And okay, cool. Okay, so anything else to say about the new rules, about tomorrow? Anyone would like to read another paragraph from the rule book? Could just let's see. A number of factors can affect the chance of hitting a target. Cool. More insightful.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome. Cool. Anything else? Anyone on the chat they want us to read out? Want your name on the screen? I'd like to say thank you to my wonderful co-host today. Thank you for saving me. Thank you to Bob and to Jan in the background there. Thanks to
Hello.
Andy. Thank you to John. Page 10, paragraph 3. No problem. I'm on it. I haven't got page 10. Sorry, I started printing page 12. Bad luck. You don't get anything.
So page 22, paragraph 3. 10 pages in. Come on,
Okay.
Steve.
I'm working on it. Here we go. Paragraph 3. If engaged with 2 enemy units. So that's good.
Yeah,
Actually, that's really important.
it is.
Sounds
I didn't read the rest of it because
okay.
I didn't want people to start arguing with me and I'd get in trouble. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. Oh, cool. So we'll let you know either on Tales from Royal Hall or maybe we'll do another one of these after we've played.
Front and back.
There'll be lots of people posting, I'm sure, as people get more and more in touch with version 4, plus people at the Michigan GT who are playing it with Ronnie. Thank you to everyone who's watched. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been fun. We'll see you next time. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from them.
Bye.
See you later.
Ta-ta.
Toodles.
GTFN.